Describe to me what is happening. Look at that. Are you wearing anything on your feet?
No, no.
So you've got bare feet.
Yeah.
And looking at the size of those feet, are you an adult or a child?
Adult.
You're an adult.
Yes.
Yeah. And as you're looking at the ground around you, tell me, are you inside or outside? What's the first thing that comes to mind?
Outside.
You're outside. And I want you to connect with your body now. So just take a moment to connect with the emotions and the feelings of your body, and know that you can see yourself from many different angles all at the same time. And tell me, do you feel male or female?
Male.
You're male. Describe yourself to me. Are you tall or short?
Short.
I
feel as if I've got a top hat on, like a hat.
A top hat?
Yeah. A cane.
A top hat and a cane?
Yes. It's like, he seems like he's quite well dressed.
Well dressed?
Yeah, but apparently he's just got bare feet. I don't know.
Bare feet?
Yeah.
So what I want you to do is I want you to connect with that man there, and as you do, I want you to tell me your name in that life. Just hear your name being called.
Joseph.
Joseph. Well, hello Joseph. Thank you for coming and working with me so that we're going to discover this life that is relevant to this life. Joseph, you tell me that you're outside. I want you to imagine that you're looking to the left and the right, and I want you to describe to me what you see. What is the landscape around you?
It's just houses.
Houses, yeah? Lots of houses, are there?
Yeah, just all linked together.
All linked together?
Yeah, all linked together.
So Joseph, I'm going to tap you on the forehead, and when I do, you'll see some numbers, and that'll be your age. 3, 2, 1. How old are you?
27.
You're 27. So Joseph, you're 27 years old, and you're outside. Yeah.
Yes.
I want you to connect with your feelings and tell me, what is it that you're doing there? Are you going somewhere or coming from somewhere?
I'm just looking at I'm looking at the pocket watch.
You've got a pocket watch?
Yes, I'm just waiting. It's like I'm waiting.
And as you see yourself waiting there, looking down at your feet, tell me, why have you not got any shoes on at that time? Do you not have any shoes?
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, what I want you to do now is I just want you to go from one foot to the other and just feel yourself putting your weight on one foot and then the other, so that you can feel the ground that you're on. And as you feel the ground, you'll have a connection to that country. What country springs to mind? Where are you?
Sweden.
You're in Sweden? And I'm going to tap you on the forehead, and when I do, you'll see some numbers, and that'll be the year that you lived in Sweden. 3, 2, 1. What year did you see?
1939.
1939. So Joseph, as you're looking down at the scene of these houses in Sweden in 1939, you'd say to me that you're looking at your watch and you're waiting. I want you to fast forward the scene for me and tell me, what was it that you were waiting for? See it come to mind?
Train.
A train?
Train.
Are you getting on that train, Joseph?
feel as if I'm just waiting.
Uh-huh.
I don't feel like I'm waiting to go on the train though.
Uh-huh. Well, just see that train coming into your scene now. Feel it coming closer and closer, coming to a halt. Is there anyone that gets off that train? Or are you just watching the train?
A lady is coming off the train.
Uh-huh. Describe that lady to me. Is she tall or short?
She's tall.
She's
tallish.
tall?
Yes.
Uh-huh. And tell me, what is she wearing?
She's wearing a nice pink dress.
Mm-hmm.
Some kind of bonnet on her head.
A pink dress and a bonnet?
Yes.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. And as you're waiting for this lady that's coming off this train, you must know her. What is her name? What do you call her?
Flo.
Flo. Mm-hmm. And I want you to connect with Flo now and greet her as she's come off that train. And describe to me, what colour is her hair?
Blonde.
Mm-hmm. And her eyes, what colour are her eyes?
Blue.
Her eyes are blue. And I want you to connect with Flo there and tell me, is she a relation of yours in that life? Do you work for her? What's the connection?
His wife.
She's your wife? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I want you to look into the eyes of your wife there and spiritually connect mind to mind and soul to soul. And as you connect, you'll just have an image. And it'll be the first thing that comes to mind as you look into her eyes and connect. Does she remind you of anybody in this life? It'll be the first thing that comes to mind. No, very good. Mm-hmm. So, follow the scene now with Flo. Mm-hmm. And take me to your next scene. So where do you take Flo then, Joseph?
I'm just going my fields, there's fields.
Your fields, yeah. And as you're walking along these fields, are you talking with each other?
Yes,
Yeah.
Talking.
So do you live in that area, Joseph?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, let's go to the place where you live. So just feel that with your mind drifting, floating to the place where you live with Flo. And describe it to me. What does this place look like?
Just fields and there's lots of sheep and lots of goats.
Sheep and goats. Mm-hmm.
There's lovely like rivers and streams.
Streams. Mm-hmm. And do you live in a home around that place? See your home and describe where you live.
Looks like a little barn.
It's in a barn. Uh-huh. And do you and Flo live alone there, or do you live with other people?
I can see one child.
One child. Uh-huh.
Yes.
Connect with that child and tell me, is it male or female?
Male.
It's male. Mm-hmm. And as you connect with that child, yeah? Mm-hmm. Does this child belong to you then, Joseph?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So, he's your son. How old is he?
10.
He's 10. And what did you call your son, Joseph?
I don't know.
As you connect with your son there now,
Mm-hmm.
I want you to look into his eyes so that you can connect with that soul that worked with you there. And tell me, does he remind you of anybody in your life today?
He reminds me of my nephew.
Your nephew,
Yes,
thank you.
my nephew.
And what is it that you do in Sweden there? Do you work on the land or do you own the land?
Works.
You work? And I want to know about your connection with your wife. As you connect with the energy of your wife, is it a good match?
Yes.
It's a good match.
Yeah.
Good match. Well, now what I want you to do, now I've got enough information of that scene, I want you to close that scene like you're switching the remote control, switching the TV to another channel. And I want you to, with your mind, go drifting and floating forward. And I want you to go forward in that life or to another life where something significant is happening for your soul that's on that journey. So go drifting, floating forward through time and space. Feel yourself now connecting to another significant time. 3, 2, and 1. Be there now. Are you still Joseph or someone else?
I don't know. I feel the void.
A void.
Yeah.
So keep travelling. Keep travelling and travelling and travelling. Drifting and floating to another time in that life when something important is happening to you, or to a different life. 3, 2, 1. Describe to me what you feel around you.
I feel as if I'm on a carriage.
You're on a carriage?
Yes.
Very good. And are you on your own in this carriage or are there others?
It's not just me.
And are you still Joseph? You can see yourself from different angles, or are you somebody else?
No, I don't feel like I'm in. No.
So are you male or female?
Male.
You're male. What's your name? What do people call you in that life?
Thomas.
Thomas. Thomas, you're on this carriage, yeah? You must be travelling somewhere. Thomas, how old are you? Just see some numbers in your mind. How old are you?
23.
23. Thomas, you're on this carriage. Where are you travelling to? What's the first thing that comes to mind?
I'm going home.
You're going home? So where have you been, Thomas?
Been out collecting money.
Are you been collecting money?
Yes.
Is that your job, collecting money?
Yes.
And you're on this carriage now, on your way home. What country is that you're in, Thomas? As you're there on that carriage, feeling the vibration of that coach and the wheels of that coach are going onto that ground, you'll get a sensation. Is it a hot country or a cold country?
It's warm. It's warm. It's nice and warm.
It's warm.
Yeah.
Very good. And as you look outside of this carriage, describe to me, what do you see around, if you could see, if you knew?
It's just I'm travelling on a lane. It's on a lane, and I'm going somewhere. I think I'm just travelling on a lane going back home.
You're travelling on a lane. Yeah.
It's like full of just trees and.
With trees?
Yes, yeah.
So you're not in a desert. You're by the trees. You're travelling through trees.
Yes.
And why have you brought me to this scene where you're in this carriage then? What happens next? Do you make it home?
I don't feel like I do.
No.
So
what I want you to do is, I want you to see the scene as an observer, Thomas. And I want you to go to the scene that describes what happens there in this carriage. You see yourself in the carriage, and then something happens. Describe the scene to me.
I feel as if I'm being robbed.
You've been robbed?
Yeah.
Was it one person or more that robbed you?
I can only see one.
One. And is that one person male or female?
Male.
And I want you to look into that person's eyes now, and I want you to connect with that person that robbed you. Spiritually connect and communicate with that soul. Does he remind you of anybody today? Just your first impression? No. Very good. So do you survive, Thomas? You're just robbed?
I don't know, but I feel like I do, yeah.
You feel like you do?
Yeah.
So I want you to follow that scene and carry on to that carriage and tell me where home is. See yourself travelling towards your home. What kind of family do you have there? Are they brothers and sisters or wife?
I feel as if there's a few people there. Few. I feel as if it's my brothers.
It's your brothers?
Yes.
And you're going to have to explain to them now that you've been robbed.
Yes.
So what were you collecting the money for, Thomas?
It's my job.
Oh, it's your job. Are you a debt collector?
Yes.
So what do you and your brothers decide to do now?
We have to try and make ends meet.
Try and make ends meet. These brothers, how many brothers do you have?
3.
3? What's their names?
One's name's Sam.
Sam?
One name's I'm not getting them. Jesse.
Jessie? Very good. Sam and Jessie.
I don't feel that.
You don't feel that the other name is connected?
No.
Look at those brothers of yours there and tell me, do they remind you of a connection here? Do they remind you of anybody today?
No.
No.
Just feel as if they're just little sprouts.
Little sprogs. Are they your little brothers?
Yes.
Uh-huh. Very good. So what I want you to do now, Thomas, is I want you to take me to the last day of the life as Thomas.
Yes.
So as you are closing that scene, drifting and floating forward in time, 3, 2, and 1. Take me to the last day of that life. And tell me, how old are you?
36.
You're 36. Describe to me what's happening, Thomas.
I feel lost. I feel lost. I feel like as if I'm heartbroken.
Lost and heartbroken.
Yes.
Uh-huh. I want you to connect connect with that feeling of your heart being broken.
Yes.
Who did that to you?
Your mum.
Your mum?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. So what happened?
She took something from me.
She took things from you?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What kind of things did she take from you? Were they emotional or different?
She's taking everything from me.
Taking everything from you?
Yeah.
And you feel lost and
Yes.
lonely? Mm-hmm. So she controls you in that life?
Yes.
Uh-huh. Connect with your mother in that life. Look into her eyes. See the window to her soul. Does she remind you of anybody in this life?
Yes.
She's your mum today?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So Thomas, you tell me this is the last day of your life and you're feeling lost and broken.
Yes.
So what happens next? How did your life end?
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I just felt lost and felt lonely.
Mm-hmm. Did you die of a broken heart? Or did something happen to you?
I just felt as if I just ended it.
You ended it?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes, I just ended it.
Okay. I'll leave it at that then. So now that you're out of your body, your soul is completely out of your body. I want you to look down at that body, at that scene, and tell me, what was the contract of that life? What was it that you were learning?
Not trust.
It's about trust.
Yeah.
Is that to trust yourself or others?
Himself.
Uh-huh, to trust yourself. Uh-huh.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. And that controlling situation that you had with your mother, what was all that about?
She wanted me to just be. She wanted me to be different.
She wanted you to be different.
She wanted me not to take money off people.
She didn't want you taking money off people.
No.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So now that we've got that scene, I want you to look around, because it's normal at this stage when someone or something comes to collect you to take you back to spirit.